Live from DirecTV Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy.
Thank you, Shatsy. I want to welcome you all more formally to the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded share their insights and bring technology and innovation and brand leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy, and I'll pass it back to my brother from another mother, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the restaurant guy.
And thank you for that kind introduction, Jimmy. To all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. And we are at the intersection of hospitality, technology, restaurants, finance, smoothies, juices, all those type of things. Jimmy, we sit at the intersection of everything.
It's a big intersection. It's a big intersection.
Before I get going, I got one shameless plug. DirecTV, Jimbo. DirecTV, keeping guests engaged, staying longer, and coming back for more. And, Jimmy, you know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking?
You know, so your daughter, Barbara's your wife.
Yes.
Sylvie has gone to camp.
Gone to camp.
So Jimmy is now, everybody, going to start watching television.
I'm watching it for the first time in 8 years.
He has not watched television in 8 years. So I gave him a list. Of shows that I think that he should catch up on. In 8 years, there's a lot. There's a lot of TV that you got to catch up on. So I tried to be a little bit new. And I gave you Friends and Neighbors, which I think is awesome, with John Hamm, Olivia Munn, and I'm forgetting who else is. Amanda Peet. It's absolutely terrific.
Haven't seen it.
And I know you haven't. I just gave you the list. I gave you Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, which is just awesome. I think I gave you. Yellowstone's not new, but it's, if you haven't seen it, it's awesome. And I was just thinking to myself that. I'm watching, what is it? Oh my goodness.
I don't know what you're watching.
Paradise, Love in Paradise. Love in Paradise. Julie, isn't it Love in Paradise? Julie?
I didn't get it. Love Island?
Love Island. I'm watching Love Island.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of the name. Because you know why?
Sure.
Because I get so confused with The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. It's Love Island. So I'm watching Love Island right now, and I was thinking that with DirecTV, so many bars and restaurants are having Love Island watch parties, and you need to have DirecTV. So there's an example of how DirecTV is just awesome.
I like how you got there.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, Nathan, our guest, helped me with that.
I loved it.
I was waiting for Julie to jump in, and she was nowhere to be found.
Nathan's introduction to the podcast was coming up with Love Island.
Nathan, I have lots to talk about because I know that he watches Love Island. Anyway, Jimmy, I was thinking about Love Island and DirecTV and how great it is to have DirecTV in your venue, not just for music, Jimmy, not just for sports, Jimmy, but also
for Love Island.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what, Jimmy? You may find that your favorite restaurant on the Upper East Side or downtown, wherever you choose to go, if they have DirecTV, maybe you can say, hey, you know what? Let's not watch the Yankees. Let's put on Landman.
Wow.
Let's put on Friends and Neighbors and see if the Yankee fans are like, you know what? I don't want to watch the Yankees or the Mets. I want to watch. What do you think?
Going back to my bartending days,
like
I have to tell you, every time a guest would come up to me and say, could you take off the game and put on whatever show was popular at the time, Seinfeld or Mad About You, I would have said, yeah, you can go home and do that. That's not what we're doing here at the bar. But I will say, Shatsy, to your point about DirecTV,
yes.
I think 80% of pubs, bars in the country are subscribers and use it. And I will comment, it is incredibly important, the ambiance, the energy that DirecTV fills. Also, it helps operators because they do it for you.
100%.
They kind of not a set it and forget it, but as close to set it and forget it as you can without doing a rotisserie chicken.
I love it. I got to tell you, Jimmy, we got a great show. It's jam-packed with entertainment.
I'm excited for this show.
Jam-packed with knowledge. We're going to be dropping knowledge.
How about swag? How about I came in here with one hat and I'm leaving with a different hat?
So let's talk about it. Last thing I want to say, Jimmy, about Shatsy and the news is here in New York City. I got to tell you, this towel, this Jamba Juice towel, which I wasn't coming in for this podcast today.
I understand.
I was going to the beach.
By the way, there's a wager going on the floor. The wager is the chances of Shatsy ending up with that towel Vegas and the entire company has it very low odds.
You see these kung fu
The
grip.
chance, the comment is the chance of you ending up with that towel.
Well, that's
there are several
so
people.
sad.
I got mine. You're not getting yours. There are several people eyeing for
Well,
yours.
I got it now. Well, I got to tell you, you know what? I was at the Javits Center all day yesterday, Jimmy. And for all those people who don't know the Javits Center, that's our big convention center here in New York City. It's not that big relative to the one that I went down to in Orlando. I forget what the Orange County Convention Center was like. It was like bigger than McCormick. It's like I think only Vegas. It's like 10 trillion square feet or something like that. Anyway, the food show, the fancy food show's in town. So I went with our crew to the fancy food show, and I got to tell you, Jimbo, we had an absolute blast. I mean, you know what the highlight was? You know what I'm seeing?
Hummus.
Hummus? I mean, if you thought hummus was dead, it's not dead. It's everywhere. Pickles are everywhere. Pickles are everything is being pickled. Pickle this, pickle that. Pickles are everywhere. There's no seed oil anywhere. Seed oil, bad. You can't find seed oil. And, and a lot of beef jerky. And talent. Talent, man. Fat is back.
Fat is back?
Fat is back. The days of Snackwells being fat-free, no. Now they're loaded. Now you get Snackwells, extra lard.
There we go.
Extra lard. I'm loving it. Jimbo, we got a great guest. Let's. Are you making the introduction? Am I bringing in Nathan? What's going on here?
I think I get to interrupt you.
Okay, interrupt
I get
me.
to bring you in. We
Go
have
ahead.
to welcome our guest, our friend, Mr. Nathan Lauer, Chief Brand Officer at Jamba. And Nathan, after that intro, I appreciate you're still with us. I appreciate you're still with us.
There's a lot
Welcome to the
unpack
show,
in
my
that
friend.
intro.
All right.
It sounds like I need to get DirecTV and all the Jambos. I'm going to stay away from seed oils. We're
Check.
going all in on beef jerky, hummus, and pickles, according to you.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm
thank
thinking.
you.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you your business, because you're going to tell us about your business. But I'm
Yes.
thinking at Jamba Juice. I mean, based on what I saw, you got to get some pickle juice in some of these Jamba things if you don't already.
Pickle shots, no doubt.
And then the other
please
thing
don't,
is,
please don't.
you have to. Everything was pickle chips, pickle.
This is delicious.
And the other thing I'm thinking, we're going to have to put some beef talon in a Jamba shake. We're going to have to
Yeah,
have, I like
I'm
the
wondering
fat
how we
shake
work
or
that
something.
in. I don't know how we're going to work it in. We'll take that away with the culinary team. Thanks for that.
We're gonna have to jump in there. Well, listen, before we get into, I just want to tell everyone a little bit about Nathan Lauer, okay? And your official title over there is the Chief Brand Officer, and you're gonna tell us all what that means.
Yes.
But first, I want to tell our listeners a little bit about how Nathan got started. I like to do this because I like to think I know more about Nathan than he does. I spoke to Nathan's family last week, and I wanted to get the insights. What was Nathan like as a small child? What was he like in elementary school? What was he a friendly kid in kindergarten? These are the things that our listeners want to know. Other podcasts, Jimmy, they go into like, what's Nathan like now? Nobody cares about what he's like now. What we want to know is fourth grade, what was he like? Right?
I wasn't good in fourth grade.
No,
that was
we're
not a good year
Jimmy.
for me.
This
Not
isn't
by me.
about you.
Good.
This is about
Fourth
this.
grade
Okay.
wasn't a good
Everyone
year
loves
for
a
me.
good origin story. Thanks for the good background.
Yeah, so listen, Nathan started installing floors with his family business. He was doing like linoleum floors and
Mostly wood,
lumber
yeah.
liquidators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was nailing and gluing and all that stuff. And then before you know it, he left and he went on to, he loved golf as an early age. His dad gave him a golf stick. He loved golf.
Big hitter.
So he
Big hitter,
started
that
working.
Nathan.
Yeah. So he started working at a golf course, and he was the cart boy. He was the guy that charged the carts, to put the plug in, you know what I mean, and clean the carts. And if you left your putter in the cart, he'd get the putter and he'd give it to Lost and Found and all those kind of things. So he loved that. But he knew that wasn't a career path for him. He said, this is not, he loved it. He went on to University of Illinois. He got a BS in communications and advertising. He graduated in 2006, Jimmy, very quickly, 1 year, because he was so smart. And then he went on to go over to Jimmy John's. He became the vice president of marketing at Jimmy John's, okay? He was there for 16 years. That's how good he is, okay? Every time he wanted to leave Jimmy John's, you know what they did?
Brought him back
They
in.
brought him back in. He's like, he would go to the office, and I don't know who the CEO was or who he went in. He went in,
call him
he
Jimmy.
slammed it. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I can't take it. And they just offered him more, and he stayed because they couldn't have him leave. And finally, he went in, and he slammed his hand on the desk. You know what he said? I'm leaving. You know what they said? Goodbye and good luck. And you know what? But you know what he already had lined up? He had the Jamba Juice gig lined up already. And he said, adios, muchacho. And now Nathan Lauer is here, CBO, Chief Business Officer at Jamba Juice. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about it. Nathan, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Wow, that's a good pump up. Thank you. I might take over that narrative as actual fact. It's
What I
kinda
get wrong?
close.
Just tell me. Just for because your family gave me this information, so maybe
Oh,
we should
yeah.
get mad at them.
What, you want to know how true it is?
Yes.
How close were you?
Yes.
Like 3.5 out of 10.
Well,
not
that's
bad
better
for
than
you.
last guest.
By the way, 3.5 out of 10. If this is baseball, you're a Hall of Famer, Shaggy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, good
For
job.
podcast,
That's Rod Carew.
Yeah, podcast numbers not so good,
Yeah.
but baseball, Hall of Famer.
I'm batting 330.
Congrats. Well done.
All right, so let's go, Jimmy. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
What kind of questions we got?
Yeah,
Let's-
I want to jump in because I've done a little desktop. You've had some discussions with our team and our producer, and I love Nathan that in your early days at Jimmy John's. And hearing some stories that reminded me of the character Jim Carrey played in Yes Man, and just saying yes to everything and seeing where it takes you. And one particular story our producer shared with us is that on a Monday morning you get called into the president's office and you're thinking this is a big moment for you, like something big is happening, and instead you get the instructions go buy me some
You gonna say
Sharpies.
go yourself?
No, they said go buy me
You
some
were gonna say
Sharpies.
go yourself though.
No.
That was about you were
Buy
about
me
to
some
say that.
Sharpies. And your answer was like, yeah, let's go. And no ego, no hesitation, just pure hustle, the hospitality hustle.
I love it.
Okay, and I love that to me, an intersection. You sit at the intersection of opportunity and hard work. Luck is defined as when hard work meets opportunity. So how did that moment and your kind of yes mentality, how does that shape the way you lead Jamba today?
Oh, wow. That's a long-winded answer. I'll attempt to be succinct. It was actually a Saturday, which makes the story maybe even better than a Monday
They
morning.
need you on a Saturday
Yeah.
to
it
get
was
to
on a
buy
Saturday.
Sharpies.
Yeah, I was going to get a big break on. I think that's why I had to do it, because nobody else was around on a Saturday. So I was the
You
one.
know who's not around on
left holding
Saturday?
the
This guy.
bag. Good job.
You're not around on Wednesdays.
That's true. True. Good point.
But yes is a powerful word, isn't it? I mean, for me, and it was part of the restaurant culture that was ingrained in my brain from the very beginning at Jimmy John's. You say yes, you do it with the gusto, you do it with intention, and I didn't know it at the time, but a lot of years on saying yes to sometimes frivolous things, sometimes to big things, it ends up with more opportunity, and that's where that took me at Jimmy John's. And then I think the hallmark of leadership at Jamba with saying yes is my ability to get into the weeds with the team. And you can put together the best and most strategic plans, but if you're not willing to go into battle with the team, with the franchisees in the field, you're kind of a fake. And so I pride myself on having that same mentality that went to get a Sharpie like 15 years ago today. And I think that's really important for leaders never to lose sight of that.
I just want to add, and I really do love the story and the power of yes. When I'm interviewing people or looking for potential candidates, I will tell you in no particular order, but there's 4 things that I do take notice of. Military, I take notice of. Team sports.
Jimmy, what when you were in the military, what was the final when you got to colonel?
No, I didn't. Not in the military, but I have great respect.
Oh, I thought you got up to colonel.
The commonality and hospitality industry, but the commonality is if you're going to be successful in any of those things, the team aspect and the willing to roll up your sleeve and do what it takes, and it's kind of a yes mentality. Like, yeah, let's go. And I think the story that was shared is just immediately telling of no job too big, no job too small. Like, you need Sharpie? Yeah. Saturday? Yeah, let's go. And then what do you got for me, coach? Put me in. So anyway, I love the yes story. I've embraced that. Again, I think in hospitality, to be in so many industries, to be successful, it starts with a yes, and then you join in and figure out where you go from there.
Remember, I was just telling you that I was away with Jillian. I said I was at the Riviera Maya.
Yeah, they
and
just
I
said
went
yes.
to the resort.
Yep.
I said, you said, how was it? I said, Jimmy, I never heard the word no.
Yep.
Anything you said to them at this resort was yes. They know why I'm there. I am there to have a fabulous time at a resort in Mexico. I'm not working. I'm not leaving the resort. Everything was yes. Bucket of beers. I'm going to go see the sunset. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe they said see. I don't know. But anyway, it was definitely not no. It was definitely not no. Anyway,
Well,
listen. We have
guys, real quick-
here.
real
I
quick
believe
on
got
that.
something for
Real
us.
quick on that. I think it's not about me and the Sharpie or that Riviera Maya resort that you were at, but it's the culture within these companies. And if you have a company that does that and sort of drags you along kicking and screaming with that mentality, that's a really special organization. And that's what we had at Jimmy John's, and that's what we're building at Jamba, and we have here. So that's, just a quick aside about overall culture, not individual performance.
I love it. I got to tell you something. We have some unbreaking news. It's unbreaking news just coming in, Jimmy. There are two things that I want to clear up first. Okay, first of all, this is very old news, but it's new for me. It's new for me. Jamba Juice has changed their name. It's just Jamba. It is just Jamba.
What?
For all you listeners, it is just Jamba. I think I misspoke and I said Jamba Juice because I'm old as dirt, and for me, it was always Jamba Juice, and it rolls off my tongue. But it is just Jamba.
It's cooler.
It's much cooler. Jamba Juice. It's just Jamba. And by the way, you know that Jillian and I are probably going to have another kid. You know that, right? We spoke about this. I'm 58, Jillian's 53, and she's like, Shatsy, we got to have another kid. And if I have another kid, and we're trying right now, not unsuccessfully, but we are trying to have another kid. It'll be 4, and Jamba Schatzberg will be the name. What do you think about that?
I think you got to add the middle name.
Jamba Juice?
No, AI.
Jamba AI Schatzberg. All right, I like that.
AI in. You get 70% of all funding if you just put AI in the name.
So I'm going to fundraise. I'm going to get VC from my kid. And then the other brain, and this really is breaking news. Jamba is now releasing, or has come up with, and is a new prototype called Hello Sunshine. Okay, so in 2019, that's how old I am, they dropped juice from Jamba, 2019, and it's just simply Jamba because they got a crazy menu. It's so much more than juice today, okay?
It's a lot of fun.
And they're rolling out a new campaign, and that is what we have, this gorgeous towel, which apparently I'm not going to be allowed to keep.
But you're going to try. You're just not
Hello Sunshine.
Hello Sunshine.
Hello Sunshine is a new store experience, a whole new store. It's completely innovative. It is absolutely mind-blowing, mood-boosting craziness. Nathan, no one better in the entire world to talk to us about this new Hello Sunshine concept and prototype. What can you tell us? When is it coming out? When can I find it? When can I go? Tell me everything.
Q4, West Coast, cost-effective, consumer-driven, business-driven for our franchisees. I mean, I could go on and on for days, but it really is emblematic of the brand transformation that we've been going through at Jamba. New positioning, new marketing. I think a new hard charging take on operations and support for our franchisees, culminating in what should be a new Jamba experience for the guests and better financials for our franchisees. So all that combined, it's not just the prototype, but it embodies everything that's been going on in the business.
So what can we expect from the Hello Sunshine?
Look, I think at the end of the day, you should expect the best customer service in our industry from Jamba with really high quality products. And the key that underpins all of that is an approachable, value-driven menu, but not a cheap menu. And so all of that coming together, I think, in a business proposition that works for our franchisees, and honestly, a situation that works for our guests really, really well, better than it typically has in the past. So just to kind of put a finer point on that, building a menu with items that you can pair together for meals, bringing that to you in a really guest-centric atmosphere. If I'm the one handing you the smoothie, I'm going to say, hey, Jimmy, I want you to taste that smoothie right now. If it doesn't meet your standards, we're going to make a new one for you. That really personal interaction and ensuring that we've delivered on that is really important, especially as people trial all these new things that we have on our menu. So really just changing the dynamic at Jamba, going back to the roots, but with a modern twist, leaning into our great franchisees and team. And we're well on our way, and I love it.
I dig that.
I love it. Yeah. Hello Sunshine. Makes me smile.
Hello Sunshine. It's simple.
Love
it's
the
memorable.
name. Love the orange. I told
Nathan, was this your idea, the Hello Sunshine name?
No.
So Nathan Lauer, our guest on the show, came up with the idea. Unbelievable. I got to tell you.
His team did.
Yeah.
Team sport. Team effort. By the way, talk about pairing. I mentioned to Nathan at the top of the show, green and orange are my favorite colors. And he looked at me and went, but not together. Again, all right, good. So let's not together. I like green. I like orange. Separate, not together.
100%.
I want to talk about Jamba and then and Hello Sunshine and really the menu. I occasionally swap my salad for a smoothie, and that's my definition of balance. Let's just say I'm on my healthy journey, and it's never ending and ongoing. What I love about Jamba is you don't force people, to choose between being virtuous and also treating themselves. And as you said, it's very powerful. Why can't you have both? And I think Jamba affords guests really that opportunity. So, the number one seller, I understand at Jamba, is your ultra functional protein bomb. It's the Mango A Go Go. And sometimes people just want it for a little cup. How do you balance the menu and catering to that post workout smoothie crowd, but also the person, that's chasing that 3 o'clock, like uplift, pick me up, a treat or sort? How are these different audiences? Are they the same audience? And how do you balance these things out?
It's actually, if you think about restaurants in general, this isn't new territory, right? But for a smoothie brand and a brand that had been labeled as healthy for many, many years, and it's sort of a race to the epitome of health in the smoothie industry, it's important to realize that humans are humans, and we flex between wanting a Mango A Go-Go versus wanting a protein-packed post-workout smoothie or a smoothie bowl with fresh fruit toppings. And so for us, it is the same guest. And Jimmy, just like you may want that Mango A Go-Go in the afternoon, I might want an apples and green, healthier smoothie to start my day. And it really is the same person. And so I think Jamba, we're just giving ourselves the permission to flex all over that menu spectrum. And it really works for our current guests and hopefully future guests. It certainly works for the menu and what we're building.
I love it. I got to tell you, I take protein shakes and I put Oreos and chocolate and like Tate's cookies in that. And then it's so it's a real healthy.
I mean, once you
It's
put an
both at
Oreo
the
or a
same
Tate's
time.
cookie in a smoothie, it all the calories just poof gone.
Yeah,
Gone. Once you put it in a juice, you make it up. The healthiness dominates. The calories go away.
Because one of the people I follow a whole bunch of health experts on TikTok, and one of these health experts told me that.
There you go. Listen, at the end of the day, whatever works for you, Shatsy. I want to continue a little bit down this path. We talk about 3 meals a day. We talk about snacking, and snacking is a meal. People like to eat and like to engage when they feel like it, and it's not just 3 square meals a day anymore. And I think Jamba has such a powerful presence to be part of your culinary interest throughout the day. It's not one versus the other. You really can enjoy and embrace. How are you capitalizing, on this shift in consumer behavior? Consumers want to treat themselves or have that lift me up when they want it. And how does Jamba address that, that multi-part of the day aspect?
For us, it's really 4 menu platforms. You think about it, we've had smoothies for 30 years. We've had smoothie bowls. We were actually one of the first smoothie brands to do smoothie bowls. We've had that for 10 years. But what other platforms can we build out to expand day parts and occasions with Jamba? So we just released a line of iced beverages under $5. That is a new occasion for the Jamba guest. That is a more frequent guest. That is a younger guest. We're introducing food into the concept, not like pitas and sandwiches, but like handheld, poppable, biteable things that you can take on the go. Think mini empanadas, urban mozzarella cheese bites, baked goods, things like that. And so you start to pair those food and beverage options together, and you can pair a variety of things for under $10, under $15. It becomes a snack as meal occasion. It becomes a multi-day part functional occasion as well. And really, Jamba is going from a one-trick pony in smoothies to really building a menu that can flex for guests in many different ways. And again, this isn't groundbreaking. Like, you go to a sit-down restaurant, you can get an appetizer meal, or you can have a full-on entree. You can have a liquid lunch if you choose. So Jamba really is just becoming what everybody else is, but is not really what is thought of occurring within a smoothie brand, quote unquote.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it's. I remember my first Jamba experience. I was in L.A. and there was a store, and I think it was in Westwood. This was going back quite a few years ago, and it was new for me because where did Jamba start? Where was the first? It was not East Coast, right?
No, it was San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, there you go. So
West
it
Coast.
was. So I'm out there visiting my brother, and I'm out there, and I see this Jamba. It was Jamba Juice, obviously, and I was like, I gotta go. And I took pic. I remember calling Jillian, and I was like, it was like my head exploded how cool this place was, And it's years later, and you know what? And you're continuing to evolve. continuing to change, and you have to as the demographics and everyone eats differently and drinks differently and wants different things. So it's really awesome that you guys continue to evolve. Speaking of evolution, let's talk about technology, because there's been a lot of changes in technology since the time that I went to that store in Westwood, and it's got to be literally 15, 20 years ago. But let's talk about tech and talk about we talked about menu innovation and we talk about new prototypes, but what about in the technology side? Is kiosk ordering something you guys are embracing? Is loyalty? Is that kind of thing? Where is your tech going outside of the standard, the point of sale system?
If you're not saying yes to those questions in a restaurant, you've totally missed the boat. I mean, I think that those are table stakes. Now, given I think ideal scenarios, you wouldn't need kiosks. People would use their phone as the kiosk.
Sure.
However, I think with a more traditional business that's been around a long time and people don't necessarily think about Jamba as a digital first business, in order to change that behavior, we need to have kiosks in some way, shape, or form in our locations to really push the loyalty and digital ecosystem down to the guests. Because frankly, it's way easier. I mean, you guys know it's easier for labor, order accuracy. Average check size is typically
Keeping
higher
track
as well.
of the guests themselves and what they're
Yeah.
eating and drinking, which is important.
Exactly. Suggestive sell things. It helps trial the new menu items that we're rolling out. And I think the key for us is really an integrated loyalty program with the kiosk in store, with the POS system, so that irrespective of if you come in and order, we can personalize that for you. Or if you want to be at home and order and get delivery, or be home and order and then go pick it up, you have the same sort of customized, personalized experience. And it's really critical that all of the technology is working in concert together to do that. And I think that's really a key part. People build things at restaurants in silos. And what we're attempting to do at Jamba and Go-To Foods is really build that ecosystem so that irrespective of what you do as a guest, you get that really, really phenomenal experience, all capped by an amazing in-store experience from our team.
And you guys have had digital menu boards for a long time, right?
It's hit or miss a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, we've been open to that for a while.
Right. So are you seeing, been there, done that, or no, actually, we're seeing a lot of traction now with AI and the boards changing automatically with, I'm not talking about pricing and dynamic pricing and just saying, hey, when it's busier, I'm going to charge $1 more. I'm talking about real, day parts, weather conditions, menu boards changing without a GM or a human having to be oh my God, it's so hot. Let me change my stuff around on the menu board. Let's put in, something more appropriate. Are you seeing some of that kind of stuff?
Well, let me take a different lens on it, because I primarily think that once that guest is in the store and you have them, if you just needed a good job merchandising your core, because that's what's going to bring them back over and over and over again. Right. I think what you're saying about the dynamic product offering or weather impacting your decision making, it's really important that you bring that to the app and the push and email ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And so you create traffic driving material through those items. And so I take that digital menu board and be you just have to be a great merchandiser in store, whether you do that through digital or static or merchandising or retail. Many restaurants have different avenues to do that, but really the key is taking that to a traffic driving functionality and generating demand through those sort of dynamic situations.
It's all merchandising, Jimmy. It's merchandising.
I like that line.
It's merchandising.
Yeah, once they're in.
Mel Brooks turned 99 this past week.
God bless
99.
Him. God bless.
I still have that picture, Jimmy.
You still have that picture.
I still have that picture.
Yeah, show it to us one day.
Yeah, okay.
Nathan, a few weeks ago we had Mr. Mike Smith on
my colleague.
The show. Your colleague, the
CBO,
the Chief Brand Officer of Moe's, and we talked about being part of the Go-To Foods family. And one of the things that stood out to us, and Shats and I were even talking about it, was how they have this CBO structure. Basically, you're each respectfully the CEO of your brand, but it's all part of the broader portfolio. And Mike shared that you have a CBO chat and some calls, and it's really,
what did he divulge?
That's just it.
Well, he actually said that I could be in the chat.
No, he did. Cool. No, he did not, because what he said was similar to Fight Club. First of all, the first rule of the CBO club
Right.
is
No
you don't
chats
talk.
allowed?
You don't talk about
no way.
chats allowed. You don't talk about the CBO club. That's the first thing. So the first.
Mike broke that rule.
So, well, no, he didn't break it. He just
he
said,
did.
we have a chat. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. But can maybe you share with us, what are some of the advantages? Because I think it's really unique, and I think it's something that, other multi-brand, restaurant groups should be thinking about is, how do you leverage that, your fellow CBOs? How do you guys kind of share ideas?
You're basically asking to break the rule.
Not break the rule. I don't
We
want
want
you
to
to say
share
one thing.
insights of the chat.
But talk about how do you guys leverage your fellow CBOs and leaders of the brands? How do you collaborate to punch
Bet you
above
they talk about Love Island.
punch above your weight?
I'm not going to take the bait. I can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. See, he can't talk about it.
I'm not going to go.
But he does
I'm
talk
kidding.
about Landman and how great Billy Bob Thornton
Actually,
is.
I'm a Your Friends and Neighbors guy. We just finished the first season. That's an incredible
Wasn't that
show.
great?
I love
Wasn't that a great
Yeah.
show? John Hamm is
very-
my new love. I mean, that guy, I know he's good in Mad Men,
great.
but I fell in love with him all over again.
Yeah, he's great. It is nerve-wracking, that show. Okay, going back to your question, Jimmy. It is pretty amazing. And I think that's one of the things that these portfolio companies across the restaurant space and even hospitality way before restaurants have really leaned into is you have your leaders of each brand, essentially, like you said, the CEO of the brand, but with centers of excellence under this one roof that can really make you better than you could be alone. And that goes from a technology standpoint, loyalty standpoint. It can even go into the culinary standpoint, certainly supply chain, and then across the leaders of each brand as well. I mean, we talk to each other not only on a weekly basis, but a daily basis. What is working? What is not working? Sometimes we get together and talk about how we're reorganizing something and how it may affect another brand. And it's not just lip service. It really, really, really is a helpful line to peers in this industry when it's not always the easiest to get on calendars anymore, or just pick up the phone like we used to do and call another president of another brand. Like, those days are gone. You got to schedule something and nobody has time for you for a month. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I can walk down to Mike's office and we can chit chat right here and now. And it is an incredible help, but it's not.
Is Mike's
just
door
within
always
the
open,
CEOs.
Nathan?
Okay, good.
Because Jimmy's got his
Thanks,
door closed with a do not disturb, do not knock. Like, you got to make a meeting. Is Mike welcoming?
I ordered blinds.
Yeah, like
blinds.
literally, there's like Leveler blinds. Is Leveler still a brand? Like, you can't. Is Mike welcoming? Because Jimmy is not welcoming. It's don't talk to me.
Mike is. I guess
Thank
Jimmy's really playing by the Fight Club rules. He doesn't.
Yeah,
He doesn't even talk.
I want to make the following statement, and it's not about how my door is not always open.
It's never open.
It's always open, just not to you. But what I wanted to say, and maybe there are other restaurant brands that have adopted this, but when you shared some thoughts on the CBO, group, and Mike did as well, I'm thinking like you guys are the NBA, the National Basketball Association of Restaurants, because one of the things I learned.
Thank you for clarifying the NBA, though, Jimmy.
One of the things I learned from an executive of the NBA is, and they feel, and maybe other leagues do it too, but when something wins, when something's working for a team, they share it with the league, and it gets disseminated to all the teams. Something bombs.
That's a great
they share it.
analogy.
And I have to say, I had not heard about that in other leagues. And uniquely, the first time I heard about that in the restaurant space, the hospitality space, was with Go To Foods and Moe's and Jamba. And I just feel that is so unique that it's part of the culture and DNA. And I think that's awesome. And look, imitation is a heightened form of flattery. I think other restaurant groups with multi-brands should really think about how to leverage these ideas across their portfolio. And it's hard to do, and it's hard to force. It has to happen. And you and Mike both spoke about the CBO. Didn't say very much, but you did say you find value in that collaboration with respective leaders of these brands. I think that's pretty cool. So there you have it, Chad. Go To Foods, the NBA of the restaurant business.
Well, no, but I
I
think,
love it.
but I
Boom.
think that's where the synergy comes in when these large groups, like, To Go Foods, come together. Some things work, but I think the collaboration from the leadership side, which is organic.
Yes.
Mike's door is open, your door is closed. That's
Yes.
why we have absolutely no collaboration.
Yes.
Because you lock us all out.
Yes.
But Mike and Nathan, they're collaborating.
They're collaborating.
Like, you take any, and are you guys also with like Carvel, and are all the brands together, or is it just a few of you? Like
no, we're all
Ann's,
together, and
everyone.
we're all under this roof.
together.
So
And-
Aunt Ann probably just walks down the road, and is Aunt Ann's door always open?
Aunt is not in the business any longer, but I'm sure if she was, her door would be open.
But I heard when she was, that door was open. In fact, she didn't have a door; it was just a hole. Anyway, listen. And what about Bob McAllister?
Bob McAllister. Yeah, I mean, he's not involved in the business either, but McAllister's and our leader there
Is
is.
Sue Schlotsky? Is
By the way,
anyone still there?
Shatsy's doing his best impersonation of Rip Van Winkle right now. He's been asleep.
Wait, guys, you know who is involved?
Who?
One of the original founders of Jamba is a franchisee on the West Coast for this brand. So we do have some founder
Nice.
love in the building for sure.
There you go.
Is his name
You know,
Jamba?
the other thing I want to add is it's not just about replicating success, but everyone talks about failing fast. And in the portfolio company, you actually don't have to fail at all, because if another brand fails, you learn for it before you even step foot in that pitfall. And so that's another huge opportunity.
But I think to Jimmy's point, it's amazing that you guys are recognizing those synergies, because a lot of other companies that are, multi-divisional, they're very separate, very siloed.
They even get competitive.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with a little healthy
well,
competition.
There's
If you think Nathan doesn't want to kick everyone else's ass, of course he does. But that's healthy. I mean,
look, I give Mike Smith my good ideas. I don't give him my best ideas.
You don't give him the best.
That's funny. That's what Mike said about Nathan.
Yeah, when Mike walks into Nathan's office with an idea, Nate just lies to him. Mike, that's unbelievable idea. What the idea that was. Oh, and Mike's running with it. I read it by Nate. He loved the idea.
Totally. There's some gamesmanship.
Anyway, listen, let's just talk about franchise relationships, because that could be very contentious. You got over 730,000 locations, I understand. Is that correct?
I wish. Gosh.
Okay, so over 730 locations and over 110 franchisees, right? Making up the majority. Are they all franchise? You have some company owned.
We have one company owned in Disneyland.
Right.
So
it's basically
I'm
all
franchise
franchise.
business.
So you have to kind of talk to all these. I mean, this is really a family, and you have to keep them all together and keep everybody happy to a degree, because if their business isn't good, they blame you, right? If you're not coming with creative ideas, yeah. So you came up with a line, and I quote, Jimmy, this is a quote. You can come up with the best ideas in the world, but if the teams don't buy in, it's meaningless. Nathan Lauer, 1986.
I can't believe I said
Right?
that.
Yep. You were a junior in high school. I got that from your teacher.
He wasn't a junior in high school in 1986, my friend.
Mrs. Hildegrath, your science teacher, told me that. Anyway, listen. So I'm curious. How do you have to speak to 110 franchisees? How do you work that in? And is it like I go visit stores? Is it like I have a Zoom call with them? Is it some Zoom call, some I have to go? Like, how do you deal with all these? Because they're all independent. I mean, they all care about themselves. They don't really care about the other franchise guys.
Well, isn't that the trick? You got to get them to care about their peers.
Really?
Otherwise, it's every man or woman for themselves, and that's not a healthy team.
Unhealthy.
Because you're right, it is a family. Look, all the restaurant leaders, you guys know in your organization, it is the primary job of a leader: motivate, communicate. We hire great people around us, and we collectively come up with the strategy and the tactics that we believe will move this business forward. I really feel like my primary job is getting the franchisees not only excited, but absolutely pumped to wake up, go to work, recruit, train their teams, and get them to put out the best version of Jamba that they can. And I honestly think that we're doing a hell of a job with that. And it's a variety of touch points. I mean, even stuff like this, you guys, this is good for me. This is good for you guys. This is amazing for our franchisees. I'm going to ask them to listen to this. They might get some things or a different take on it that perhaps they haven't heard straight from me before. And it is a multi-pronged touch point with the franchisees. And it's not just written communications anymore. It is out in the field. It is video. It is podcast, audio format. It is a clear and concise media strategy around that as well, so that not only is the consumer getting the message, but the franchisees know exactly what we are promising the consumer, because they have to live up to it. And so, it's tough. Sometimes it's like you got to be in too many places all at once, but you got to pick and choose your spots.
How many miles you got racked up on American or Delta or something?
I just used a bunch, so I don't know, not a ton
just
anymore.
brag a little bit for us.
He's a 10.
Are you like a million miler guy?
Yeah, 1 million, yeah,
1
billion
billion. He's got
miles.
a billion miles. Does
Honestly, I think I
Jamba
got, like,
take your miles? Do they
100,000 on
keep
Delta
them for
right now. It's not
themselves?
even
You
that
can tell
much.
me. Are you allowed to keep your miles, or do they like take them and they they got to go
We
to
can
the
keep them.
pool?
We can keep them.
Oh, they do. Okay, I don't know. Some companies are like they keep them. They give them back to you as a Christmas bonus. They're like, instead
look,
of cash, we're giving you 1 million Delta miles this year.
Well, okay, so you want to talk about being the CEO of, your own brand within Go-To Foods. I'm very mindful of our P&L. So I'm very stingy when I travel. And maybe that was from my days growing up in the Jimmy John's system where we had literally no money to spend on T&E.
I heard Jimmy John's made you bike to other stores.
Yeah, essentially.
Bike from city to city. That's how they
Essentially.
made so much money. Is that true? You can tell us you don't work there anymore.
No, it is.
He's like, Nathan, no flying. What are you, out of your mind? There's
So
a
I would
There's a
drive
Schwinn
8
10
hours to a
speed back.
location on Sunday. That's what I would do.
Listen, we gotta take a quick break, and we'll be right back with some hot or not, because I gotta tell you, and some Branded Quickfire, because I'm getting yelled at by Julie, the producer over here. So we'll be right back. Stay with us, don't go away. Hot or not, and Branded Quickfire coming back. And we're back. Nathan Lauer, CBO, Jamba. Hot or not? Are you ready, sir?
Let's go.
I'm going to ask you I'm going to throw out a couple lines. You just say hot or not, and then Jimmy, the finance guy, will opine on your answers. There is no right or wrong. Mall food courts, is that hot or not?
Hot, baby.
Protein coffee, hot or not?
No.
Dirty sodas.
No.
Paying with cash.
Yeah.
Paying with cash is hot.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, let's go, man. That's some interesting ones.
You know what? If I could, I'd love you to comment on the Shatsy's dirty soda question. It's an area that we're certainly seeing a lot of attention and focus. You guys have somewhat revolutionized the beverage, and you've really created a category. So I'd love your thoughts on the dirty soda side, since you said it was not, and that's, as Shatsy said, no right or wrong answer. But talk about the dirty soda bit.
It's not my bag. I mean, but I respect what they're doing.
Yep.
I respect coming up with a literally brand new market niche. Will it have longevity? I don't know, and maybe I'll be proven wrong in 10 years. I think it's a really,
It's a gimmick.
really,
It's a
really,
fad. Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh.
hey,
Hey, don't put words in my mouth, okay?
Hey,
Hey.
Take it easy, Shatsy.
I don't want him
Mike
coming after
Smith's in
me.
my ear right now. He's telling me, feed him this, feed him this.
Yeah, right. Get this guy in trouble.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We'll see how it plays out. Not my bag.
Actually, I'll simply say, and I chose that one in part, not throwing shade on anyone else, and I hope people are a big cheerleader for other people's businesses. But I will say it's not my bag either. It's not where my head goes. Not what I think about when I make my dining selections. That is never a consideration. So whatever it is for other people, great, but it's not for me. So that's why I kind of asked you. You're really an expert in this domain, and it's not for you. It's not for Jamba.
But it's for some people,
Yep.
and also just because it's not my bag doesn't
Yep.
mean that I shouldn't do it for Jamba. But that's not the direction
Yep.
we're going.
Got it. I like it.
All right,
What
Jim.
other insight do you want? I like this, or I want your insight on the others. Cash. Tell me about cash. Where does that question come from?
You know, it's interesting because when we started in the business, Shats and I'd say easily 90+%.
Yeah.
95% cash, 97% cash. And we were doing cash
I
drops.
think it's over 110%. It was
110% cash.
110%
And we would
cash.
do daily cash drops. And cash, I mean, there's so much risk and concern and leakage and slippage. And by the way, I mean, this is the statute of limitations is expired, but there are also some benefits to having a meaningful revenue line in cash. But again, I digress.
Outside of the leakage and the slippage, depending on who it is leaking and slipping to.
But I digress. But today, I mean, I think we've really inverted, and I'd say we're certainly, approaching 90% non-cash.
Yeah.
And in fact, to a certain extent, I could see value even getting rid of cash to avoid the hassles that come with it because it's just not there. But you said it was hot, so I'd love your thought on that in terms of, and I imagine it's probably tied to the guests, but I'll let you comment because you said that was hot.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't know the questions were like specific to Jamba. I thought we were just talking about like in general.
No, in
cash-
general.
Oh,
In general. No.
this is
No,
just
sorry. In
the
general.
world of Nathan
Yes,
Lauer.
in general.
Cash
Yeah.
is hot.
Cash is
Well,
hot.
Nathan-
aside from the
Nathan's
dollar,
got a different
aside from the
business.
dollar being at an all-time low, cash is hot because
Nathan's a bookie on the side. That's just a side. It's a high side hustle. He books for his 10 best friends.
As a leader of a franchise business, I don't want my franchisees to have to pay credit card transaction fees. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Also, just in general, like cash for tips, cash for just pulling out a 20 and being able to transact with that. My wife uses cash for Facebook Marketplace transactions. Like, I just think cash. People have written off cash, but I think it should make a comeback.
All right. Let's have cash make a comeback.
I'm going under my mattress tonight. I'm whipping out the cash. Tomorrow, it's cash in the Hamptons for Yahtzee. People are going to be, who the hell is this? I know, no charge, baby. Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, back in the day, to Jimmy's point, I mean, cash was, cash still is king, but it's not really cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is something to be said.
Liquidity is king.
I got to tell you, I will say, going back to TV, because I'm a TV junkie. I'm watching Tulsa King. Because, by the way, Nathan, did you watch any of these Taylor Sheridan movies, television shows? Did you watch any of them?
Yeah, we got into Yellowstone. I haven't done Landman yet.
So he's doing Tulsa King with Stallone, and it's like he's a mobster from New York City, gets out of the can after 25 years, and they ship him to Tulsa, and they say, that's where you're going, and and Stallone, man, he's got C notes, he's just throwing C. And I got to tell you, he needs information. He took 5 C notes, he goes, can I look at the video? Here's my friend. You know what I mean? And you can see whatever you want. There's nothing a C note. And by the way, credit cards don't work for that. You know what I mean? If you really need something, you're like, here's my Amex. Here's what I need to know.
Yeah, can I get your Venmo real quick?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't slip someone a Venmo for a favor.
Right. You want the good table in the really hot restaurant. You go to the maitre d'. Here's my Amex. Run $100 and then come back and I'll sign it. Cash really does. I agree with you. I'm old school. I always have cash in my pocket, but I will say to my kids who are in their 20s, I don't. There's no cash, no coins. There's nothing. Lint.
It might be good for your kids not to have cash, though. They might be a little reckless with that. I don't know.
I got to be honest with you. I
By the
think
way,
Apple
you've
Pay
been
is
talking
more
to-
reckless.
You've been talking to Shassy's wife? Because, she'd tell you the same thing. Reckless. I tell you.
All right, listen, meantime, I'm getting yelled at here. If we don't get on to another, I have a new segment right now, okay? Brackets and Bites, the ultimate food franchise face-off. Nathan, you were a former marketer at Jimmy John's. You were there for 16 years. You basically took them from one store to like 5,000. It was unbelievable. You were the marketing genius. You came up. They didn't want to serve sandwiches originally. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No, that was Nathan's idea. It was pizza.
Yeah, we were soups and salads.
It was pizza, and then he's like, why don't we do sandwiches? Listen, we're doing food wars, okay? Subs, burgers, chickens, tacos, you name it, okay? So here's what we're thinking. We're thinking March Madness for menus, okay? I got the brackets, the final brackets. Jimmy, are you ready? Nathan, are you ready? Okay,
I'm ready.
Little competition here.
All right.
Sub Wars, Subway versus Jersey Mike's.
Rourke Capital, Subway.
Jimmy John's versus Firehouse Subs.
Jimmy John's. Come on, another Rourke Capital and my alma mater.
Is everything just Rourke Capital on this list?
If he's smart, if he's thinking,
I am a
he's
company
smart.
man.
All right, so is it now, so now McDonald's versus Burger King. Is this what Nathan likes better, or what is this?
I don't know. It sounds like hot or not. Just whatever comes to mind. Mickey D's.
Shake Shack versus Five Guys.
Shake Shack.
Chicken Wars. Big Chicken versus Chick-fil-A.
CFA.
Popeyes versus Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, baby.
All right, Taco Wars. Taco Bell or Chipotle?
Oh boy, you're talking to two different people and two different mindsets. You can't choose.
No choice. I'll make a note of that. Taco John versus Del Taco.
Del Taco.
All right, I don't know. Julie, if you thought that was terrific, then I'm going to go along with it. Okay. Let's go. Jimmy, do you have anything to opine on those answers? I liked them.
I really did like them. I didn't always agree.
Yeah, I didn't understand
if
that.
That was okay. I clearly, when it came to as Nathan had preferences that may or may not have been influenced by other parties or other.
Seems like he was very into the Rourke Capital.
Well, I would just say that when it comes to, was it Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A?
I feel like we put
versus Big Chicken.
I feel like
freaking Big Chicken.
we put
Kidding me?
Nate in a bad position.
All right, but you're not putting me in a bad position.
No,
Big
yeah, let's
Chicken.
hear it.
I'll put our founder of Big Chicken up against.
Well, why didn't we just put
Chick-fil-A's.
all to-go foods on the list and really put them in a bad position?
But you're not letting me talk about Shaq and Big Chicken now.
Oh, Big
beating
Chicken?
the crap out of Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah. But Nate was wrong on that answer.
Well, he was wrong. But actually, I respect his answer. But he
Yeah,
was
I mean,
wrong.
I'm,
He was wrong.
I'm an
He was wrong.
Atlanta guy. I gotta go with the hometown fave.
All right, listen. Let me just go to guess how many, and then we got to get Nate out of here because we got 2 minutes left. All right, guess how many. All right, here we go. Guess how many pizzas are sold in the U.S. every year. Jimmy, I will allow you to guess 2. Is it 1 billion, 2.5 billion, 3 billion, or 5 billion? How many pizzas are sold every year in the U.S.?
Who goes first?
I always like Jimmy to go first.
All right, what was the largest number?
5 billion.
I'll go 5 billion.
Same.
Okay. Nope. It's 3 billion.
Now,
3 billion is the number. And I got to tell you, they say that's about 100 acres of pizza served every day in the U.S. I mean, that's a lot of pizza.
it's a lot of pizzas.
Guess how many
That's
McDonald's
delicious.
restaurants are worldwide? Guess how many? I'm not even going to give you the number, Nate, because you are so knowledgeable and so smart and been in this. How many McDonald's are there worldwide? Unless you want me to give you the answers, like, do you want me to give you the choices?
No, let's fill in the blank here. But
Yeah.
Jimmy has to
Man.
go first.
Then Nate
Jimmy?
has to guess first because I wanted choices.
In the world.
It doesn't Nate has to guess first.
Nope.
Oh,
you
all right.
guess first.
I guess first? All
Yeah,
right.
well, you always guess first.
All right, I'll guess first.
That gives Nate advantage. How dumb your answer is.
17,000.
17. That's not a bad guess though.
Okay, well that tells me something.
Well, that's not getting it. I just thought it was a good guess. Not even looking. Just I
Oh.
thought 17,000. Like if I wasn't
No.
looking, like that's a solid guess.
Now I'm tripped up.
Yeah, I fucked it.
30,000.
Yeah, see, but you know whose guess was better? Nate's.
39,000.
39,000.
I'm not even close.
There are more McDonald's globally than there are Starbucks. Jimmy, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, that is real.
Do you have a breakdown of how many international versus how much U.S.?
I don't have that, Jimmy, but the great news is that I'm next week on the podcast. We were going to give that information. That's what we want to hear.
You're hooking our audience.
Oh, all right, I gotta know this, and this is
Okay.
I can't even
Good job.
Google this. I gotta hear this from Shatz next week. Forget ChatGPT.
I think you
Shatz
You
GPT.
probably-
Did we just come up with something?
No, Jamba AI Schatzberg, your fourth son.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. All right, listen, let's go Brandon Quickfire. Are you ready? Brandon Quickfire, because then we got to get Nate out of here. All right, really? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, Nathan, you were in charge of the playlist. What music are you playing?
80s like like NXS and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like a little pop, like it's punk and pop, right?
Right.
It's just-
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. What's the last thing you Googled?
Delta flights.
It's good Google. That's solid. What's your favorite restaurant mascot? Is he allowed to answer that? I mean, I feel like I'm going to get him in trouble.
No, I can answer whatever I want to answer. guys.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you were clear.
Fudgy the Whale from Carvel.
That's good.
Yeah, it is a really
It's a good one.
Good answer.
I love that you know Fudge the Whale.
Oh, come on, baby. That's a
Brother
good
Jenny
one.
Frisch, that's
Iconic.
every year at his birthday.
Nathan,
Gets a
maybe
fu-
Nathan's
gets a-
older than I think. Like, I look at Nathan, like, maybe
Graduated in
maybe
06.
32.
He's not older than you think. He graduated
32.
in 06.
He's 32.
Shatsy, Nathan and I are the same age.
Hey,
Oh,
Julie,
oh.
that's awesome.
Oh, he's 40.
41.
41.
Maybe I'm a few months older.
Oh, I thought he was a lot younger. I said 26. I just thought, remember, he was only in college for a year. He's very smart. All right, what is your favorite show to binge watch? Favorite show to binge watch?
Well, recently your Friends and Neighbors, but prior to that, probably Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. I asked Jimmy to watch it when I gave my list, and he said no fantasy, I think he
I
used.
do no fantasy.
And I said it's based on a true story. Nate, isn't Game of Thrones based on a true story?
Yeah, that stuff literally happened.
Yeah.
Dragons and magic and stuff.
Jimmy didn't take history. Jimmy's all finance. Yeah.
It's essentially a nonfiction show.
Jimmy, yes. Thank you. There was a whole yes. Thank you, Nate, for confirming that. All right. If you were to challenge Jimmy Ryan to a game of beer pong, who do you have better odds of beating?
Between the two of you,
Yeah.
Oof.
Beer pong.
This was not hard, Nathan.
It's
This
really
not hard.
is.
This
It
not
really
hard.
is.
Yeah, all right. Shatsy.
Yeah. Jimmy's like
This one was a layup for me.
Yeah, Jimmy is beer pong.
Yeah, there's certain
darts,
There's
pool.
certain ones that come up like who's a better like surfer, Shatsy, who could do a a maze faster, anything that's like wiry, Shatsy. Beer pong, that's me.
Yeah,
Bowling, me.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, Jimbo, we're 2 minutes delayed here.
Yes, listen, Nathan, I really want to thank you so much. We had a super fun time with you. Love what you guys are doing, not just at Jamba, but Go-To Foods, and really cheering for all you guys and again, enjoying it. Appreciate you sharing insights with our listeners and have some fun with us. We always like to have fun with our guests, but also you were dropping knowledge. And to all the Jamba franchisees who Nathan mentioned are going to listen to this episode, congratulations to you guys. I think you're building a great culture, and we respect your leader here, Mr. Lauer. If you want to get in touch with Nathan directly, you can email the podcast team. We don't give out cell numbers anymore. You can email the podcast team at
I do have Nate's cell phone.
at brandonstrategic.com, and we'd be happy to make the connection for you and to our listeners. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. We love the momentum we have. I think we're approaching 300 episodes of our Hospitality Hangout. So,
and
they said it wouldn't last.
And it's only one listener, which is amazing.
Well, my wife likes it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
All right, but listen, I'll pass it back to my boy Shachi to close us out. And Nathan, thank you again, sir.
Thank you, John.
And thank you, Nathan, and listen, and Jamba, is it just jamba.com? What's the URL? How do we find our closest Jamba?
Yeah, or it could be your last Google search. Yeah, Jamba.com.
It's just jamba.com. So listen, everybody out there, check out Jamba. We're loving what they're doing. I got to tell you right now, when it's like 110, like everywhere in the country, it seems to me like it's very Jamba.
Look, I clearly enjoyed my Jamba Juice, and I want to say, hello, sunshine.
Yeah, and last thing, very exciting news here. Very exciting news. Are you ready? This truly is exciting. The People's Choice Podcast Awards, the People's Choice Podcast Awards nominations have just been released. Go to podcastAwards.com, because guess who's on there? That's right, the Hospitality Hangout for Best Business Podcast. Obviously, they were all drunk when they came up with the nominations. And podcastawards.com, go check it out and vote for the Hospitality Hangout. And if you haven't checked out the Hospitality Headline, our weekly newsletter, check it out, hospitalityheadline.com. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
That's awesome.